Hello everyone, my name is Anna, and welcome to a Need for Speed Heat review. Now, this is the first time I have ever done a video like this, so I'm totally unqualified to make a video like this, but I care for the Need for Speed franchise as a whole, and that is the entire purpose of why I made this video, is because I do enjoy playing the Need for Speed games. With that being said, of course, I might have some opinions about certain things, and feel free to drop your own opinions if you're watching this. I'm not expecting that much because I have 45 subscribers. Also, something that I'm gonna say right now is that there might be a few spoilers here and there, which is mainly just the beginning of the game. That, you know, it's just gonna be the first hour or so that I'm spoiling. Nothing too crazy. Again, don't feel afraid to keep watching this video. I'm not gonna spoil too much of the story if you care about that sort of stuff. But something that I should say is that I myself played this game blind, with not wanting to know what any of the story was about, and I think that in hindsight I wasted my time caring too much about not being spoiled. This game's lore is not really deep in my opinion, but maybe you can get invested into it more than I can. But that being said, I spent a lot of time avoiding Need for Speed Heat content on the internet when it came out, and I feel like you shouldn't really worry about that at this point. How the game starts. So, when you load up the disc or whatever, or download the game, you get the cutscene, and you can choose, or you can watch it or skip it or whatever. Just skip it actually, and then you get to the main menu. There's a few different options you can select. The main ones being online and solo mode. We're just gonna start off with solo mode, and that's what I recommend that you do, because in online mode you cannot pause the game.
The Speed Hunters Showdown is back, as Palm City plays host once again to the state's foremost racing exhibition. Each day, thousands of eager fans will be hoping to catch a glimpse of the very best high-performance cars in action. But when the sun goes down, you can quickly find yourself in a far more dangerous territory. Rising to meet this challenge is Palm City's very own Lieutenant Frank Mercer, head of the newly formed High-Speed Task Force.
Street racing has no place on public roads. Mark my words, if you are out there and you're engaging in this type of activity, we will find you. And if you think that you can get away by just hitting the gas, then you're in for a surprise. Because we are coming after you hard, and we are coming after you fast. Trust me, there is no escape.
So when you start the story mode, it starts you off with some police news report showcasing this Frank Mercer dude. This is the guy you're going to be watching out for in the story mode, as he does some stuff in this game.
Talk to me, Joe. How we doing?
Hanging in there.
After the cutscene, it puts you into a practice event, and you race as Joe. I don't know who Joe is, but I don't really care. Alongside this event, you race with Anna, who is your friend, I suppose, and later on, the police get involved, and an officer named Shaw chases you.
Shit! This cop's still on me!
After you finish the event, we get a cutscene, and apparently Joe is being kicked by Shaw, because why the hell not? This is Need for Speed.
He lost the car. He lost the car. No, Shaw. This is on you.
And after that, we have another cutscene with Joe leaving Anna's crew and saying that he's no longer interested in staying, and he decides to quit.
We're a crew.
Not anymore. It's over.
A little later, we're introduced to the Rivera garage, where we meet Lucas, who looks a bit like a B-Tech version of Joey Salads. So that's cool, I guess. After watching the cutscene, we pick a character. And we get to customize it later on, so don't worry about that.
Name's Lucas. How can I help?
Word is, cars out of here can compete.
Well, they can. This for the showdown?
Yeah, I just want to get out there and race.
As the in-game player says, he wants to race, and this is where the game provides us with 4 different starter cars. Then you drive to an event, and beat the event, drive back to a different garage. It's as simple as that.
Hello? Come on, open up.
Then we get our introduction to Anna.
You know him?
You could say that. He's my brother. That used to be mine.
We then need to go to Anna's event, and yes, we will get free roaming soon. We will get free control, don't you worry. Beat the event, drive to a safe house, you get a cutscene, and now you have free control over anything you want to do. So now I'm going to stop talking about the story and talk about the entire game itself as how it's presented. The gimmick is that during the day you're less likely to get caught by the police and meant to collect cash throughout events. During the night you can earn reputation from completing events, and it tracks down the amount of reputation you earn. In the center is your heat level, basically similar to in GTA 5 where you have a police, and the more reputation you earn, the higher your heat level becomes. The best way to collect your reputation during the night is by clearing events, and I'm mentioning this because I spent hours grinding at places being AFK where cop cars couldn't get to me, and I didn't really earn a lot of a reputation this way. If you're trying to escape from the police, your best chances are going to the port, the abandoned shopping mall, or someplace with a lot of ramps. The police aren't into ramps at all, and it's kind of like the gimmick to go to one of these places to avoid them, because it's easy. There are also several different other events. We have race, drift, off-road, time trial, and the story mode ones you'll never get to play again once you've beaten them. Another thing I want to mention is that the standard events won't progress the story. Whenever you see an event with, for example, Anna in it, it will show you a cutscene and probably progress the game. The game itself, for me, took about 20 hours to complete. This was me taking things pretty steady and grinding money and reputation. The gimmick is basically keep beating missions to unlock more missions to be completed, and rinse and repeat. I personally think it's one of the more boring stages of playing this game because you only ever progress the story when you clear a story mission, and more than likely only one is available to you. What I ended up doing for my Let's Play was just getting to a lot higher reputation than I needed to be, so that I could play multiple story-based missions at once in a video. The only thing that I dislike is that they too oftenly seemed locked behind a certain reputation you needed to reach. Get to reputation level 10 to unlock this. Beat the event. Reach level 15 to compete in the next one. It's just kind of like, I wish I had like access to the next one immediately. I can see here and there. Yes. Okay, we've done 3 in a row now. Let's, I need to get to a higher heat level to get to the next one. If I knew that doing night races gave you a lot more XP, then I would have done them a lot more. But to me, it wasn't obvious at first. So the way of getting XP is definitely do night missions and nothing else. The biggest fright I might put into some of you will be that the story mode is relatively short. Like, really painfully short. People I've known have beaten this game under 10 hours, and the world record for this game is under 2 hours. Sure, there are several tedious things you can do for yourself to keep yourself busy, such as getting collectibles to unlock certain vehicles, but I don't think this should be the way to extend a game's playtime. Wasn't there a Star Wars game EA produced where you have the full game unlocked once you spend a lot of money, or even play the game for 5,000 hours? I don't know about this because I haven't really kept up with any of this because it's not really anything I'm interested in. But I have heard these, claims. I think I have heard this from a certain source in there. I don't remember it anymore, but let's keep it at that. I might be wrong. They may have changed it. I thought it was maybe Star Wars Battlefront 2, where you have to like play 5,000 hours to unlock Darth Vader or something. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Luckily, that doesn't seem to be the case for this game, and as we speak, it hasn't had any major microtransactions yet. Other than that, they have mentioned car packs announced as DLC, but I don't think it should stop there, to be honest. My personal opinion is that the game shouldn't be kept alive because of microtransactions. I would much rather get an update for the game that keeps me interested in playing it than getting some extra vehicles or customizable effects. And overall, the game is perfect. It functions perfectly, it has perfect graphics, perfect gameplay, a perfect story. There is nothing wrong with this game. No. I do have some gripes with this game. Although I know that plenty of people have now continuously bashed Ghost with not updating the game, I don't think they deserve being bashed, but I do hope that they get their act together, because this is a franchise millions and millions of people care about. It means something to them, and although there has been a whole outrage on Twitter and other platforms where Ghost has posted something, that outrage happens for a reason. Those people do care about the game, and I don't think it should be done like that, but, you know, the people have now been loud and clear about what they want, and I suggest that you watch Straight Up Hippo's video on that. I will link it down in the description below. He talks about the updates with Ghost, and yeah, he reads out the posts that Ghost had put out. I'll now be sharing you my cons for this game. The biggest elephant in the room is, where is the competitive online? Or speed lists, or just anything really. I don't necessarily like the online a bunch in 2015 and Payback, but these were methods of just being able to compete with people in a more and easier way. All you had to do is just go to the main menu option that selected online mode, and then voila, you're put into a game with more than likely several other people with Porsches, but it is at least something to challenge yourself with. I really wanted to make vehicle review videos on Need for Speed 2015, and giving each car a rating and such to find out how good it really is. How I'd figure out is by driving it a bunch in speed lists, because that's where you'll most likely find a match with a diverse group of people all driving different types of cars. But that just isn't in this game yet for some reason. I'm also all up for minigames and different online events than just normal online racing, but the point being, I wish the option was there at launch, and I just can't imagine why the hell they haven't done that, to be honest. And I believe that in Need for Speed 2015, cops and speed lists weren't in the base game either, but they still added it eventually. And even worse is that in Payback, online free roaming in the map wasn't a thing, nor were cops in general. If this is the direction they take Need for Speed in, with just spoon-feeding us additional content as the months go by, then I see this as a missed opportunity, and I just don't see the purpose of... Maybe I can understand that, okay, the game's been out for a week now, we've got all servers initialized now let's add speed lists. That I can understand. Another thing that I personally dislike about the game is, why is the story so short? They spent 2 years developing this game, and sure, a story doesn't necessarily make a game good, but what was the development process of this game if this is how it turned out? Sure, characters like Anna or Mercer don't give Need for Speed a certain identity, but I do feel like with this game, the path it took compared to from Payback, it has been a big improvement. And overall, I do enjoy this game. I wish there was just more things that I could do in this game for me, and I went from playing this game a lot to just picking it up every now and then. I feel like I should have no purpose playing this game. Like, it just doesn't scream, play me! There was shit to be done in this game you haven't finished yet, because I've done everything. I had to make this comparison, but I do envy the support and new content a game like Fortnite gets every week. Like, new characters, skins or events happening. Need for Speed Heat didn't even have a snow or festival map change. So, to me it seems like they just shat out this game, added some Christmas stuff in a later update and nothing else. Hopefully things will soon come to this franchise, because I do really hope that this game gets a lot of replayability and content into it. Before I end the video, I would just want to give Black Panther a quick shout out, because I think he's kind of a reason why I made this video. He made an update video analysis thing as well, where he compares the update cycles between Need for Speed 2015, Payback, and The Crew 2, I believe. I might be wrong on that. I'll link it in the description, and he basically talks about that usually it takes about 80 days until one of these games gets an update, and that basically meant that we might get an update this month. And that is it. Let me know how I did with this review. I know it's probably definitely not, you know, world's best review ever. I've never done a video like this where I write an entire script, read it out, have several bunches of strokes, because let's just say that I've recorded for half an hour and I'm probably gonna have to cut that down to like 10 minutes or something. That's gonna be it. Thank you guys all for watching, and yeah, give me some feedback, I guess. I want to do more reviews like this. And see you guys later. Don't forget you can add me on PlayStation 4, and it'll be in the description as well. See you guys.